and Nuggets Twitter and everyone, until he retires, make the logo Jokic's silhouette, and then can we just pause on all of this, that every single day it has to be a new version of, man, not only is he the best player in the world, not only might they win the title, he should win every award and every big round number game. Is that the greatest offensive game we've ever seen? Was the 30-20-20 the single greatest sports feat of the 21st century? Some people are saying it. And how often are we going to change long-established rules for the same guy and then change them back? So we already decided you can be a 6 seed and win MVP even if you've never gone on a deep playoff run if you're Nikola Jokic. We almost decided you can win 3 in a row, which only one guy had done in the modern era, and win your third without ever being in a finals, which no one had done if you're Nikola Jokic. And then last year, we correctly said, when these were the numbers between him and Luka, you know what? I don't care that the left-hand column we've never seen before and seems make-believe it's so good. The very top of it is what MVP is about. That 57 wins and tied for the best record versus 50 wins and right around 4th place, that guy is going to get 80 first place MVP votes and that guy's going to get 4. And now this year we're saying, you know that logic? The exact opposite's true. Actually, it's just about the eye-popping numbers we've never seen, and the winning is not what's going to get you the MVP. There is no possible logic to, I voted for Jokic last year, I'm voting for Jokic this year.
Which you don't think there's logic to voting for Jokic?
No, I'm saying I think Brew's in an interesting place because, Brew, I think you were one of 4 people who voted for Luka last year, first in MVP. I think you were.
I gotta be honest. I gotta look.
My point is, there is no logic to last year. Joker was the league's most valuable player over Luka, and then this year Joker is the league's most valuable player over Shea. Because the argument for Joker last year is the argument for Shea this year.
What was Dallas seeded last year?
4.
Okay, so
but it was a 7-game gap. This is an 11-game gap.
Right, like I have SGA as my MVP, and he will get my vote, you know, barring some astronomical change. However, there's a logic. Like, they're the 2 seed. All right, Denver is the 2 seed, not the 4 seed. Now, I know it's close, and maybe they'll fall. But at the same time, his numbers are better than Luka's were last year. He's averaging a triple-double. He'll be the first center to ever average a triple-double.
And Shea's numbers are better than his were last year, than Jokic.
But my point, no, but you're saying there's no logic to like, if you voted for Luka last year, you can't vote for...
No, if you voted for Joker last year, then you have to vote for Shea this year.
I guess the point I'm making is I think you're way, like, getting mad at Michael Malone or getting mad at somebody for saying they think Jokic is the MVP. I think that's way overboard. Like I said, I think it's Shea, and some of the reasoning, because you said Shea is leading the league in scoring. Shea is efficient too, just like Jokic. Shea is tied for second in the league in steals on the best defensive team in the league. Mm-hmm. His team has an 11-game lead over Denver, all right? And Shea is doing it with the second youngest team in the league. And he's essentially their only star. All right, so there are reasons to vote for Shea. I'm just saying, to act like, how dare you vote for Nikola Jokic? You're an idiot. I don't agree with that logic.
I'm not saying you're an idiot. And I'm a guy who last year thought there was a real case for Luka. And by that logic, I must say there is a real case for Joker. What I don't like the Calvin Ball element of heads I win, tails you lose to MVP discussions around this specific player. I've never seen anything like it, where there were long established norms forever that we are just chipping away every year in service of one player.
But I think
I've never seen it.
Here's what I say about the norms are like unwritten.
Yes.
All right? they're unwritten rules, and sometimes you get new voters because a lot of the voters are beat writers, and so you have younger voters coming in. My voting, I started voting almost 30 years ago, and at that time I was like, give it to Michael Jordan every year. He's the best player. Yeah. Period. I remember writing a column when Karl Malone. I was like, Jordan's the best. Just because we want to give one to a great player like Karl Malone it should be the best player every year. But now I've changed my view over the years. And so the thing is that you've got different voters with different mentalities, different criteria. Again, I think Shea will and should win it. But the one thing I would say that's unwritten that should stick, we have, just for history's sake, we have never just given it to the best player every year. Because Jordan and LeBron and Kareem, they would have had even more MVPs.
And this is the frustrating thing about what Michael Malone said, where he's like, if one guy didn't have 3, you wouldn't be saying this. Yeah, you very well might be right. But everyone has always understood the hardest MVP to win is your next one. That whatever you needed to do to win your first, you need to do more to win your second. And whatever you need to do to win your second, you have to do even more to win your third. And whatever you had to do to win your third, you have to be not only an all-time legend, which he is, but an all-time legend when no one else is having an all-time season to win your 4th or 5th or 6th. That's how it's always been. And so I don't can we just put up real quick the Luka Joker numbers last year to remind people? And you're right, the seeding gap was bigger, but the games, the record gap was far closer. It was 50 wins. It was a 7-game record gap. This was not a close race. Luka got 4 first-place votes. Brew was one of them. He got 80. So, and again, look at it. Joker was obviously more efficient from the field, less efficient from 3. The passing numbers, the scoring is massive, massive. And it was a rout because we were like, no, he's on the best team that we think's going to win the title. And he's having an awesome year. How can that be the standard for last year's MVP and this year's Shea not be an overwhelming favorite, Wilds? That's what I don't think is right. I just think it is inconsistent.
Isn't Shea the overwhelming favorite? Isn't there like a 820
going away?
I don't even know what a dollar gap. What are we calling that?
That's not
odds gap or something. Like, what do you want to call that? Is that the significant gap?
Right now, the odds are significantly in Shea's favor. It narrowed huge over one game over the weekend. It opened back up after the Thunder beat them. But there is you're saying I'm getting mad at Michael Malone. Michael Malone was doing, I think, what you're kind of accusing me of doing. Michael Malone was saying, if you don't think,
he's going to bat for his
he was doing
too,
that. He was saying, you don't know basketball if you don't think this guy's the MVP. And I think that is...
Yeah, he's saying blind resume. The guy who, when we rubber stamp,
he's about to average a
Russ's triple doubles for MVP. It's like, this looks great. Like, I get what he's saying. I also would vote for SGA if I had a vote. But I understand it. I also don't necessarily think he was even talking about the MVP. I think he's just trying to gas his team up and gas.
Yeah, he's just trying to support his player.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see where he is